Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold, and today I'm going to be showing y'all my Ice PvP gear setup. Now, there are some different options, you can sort of pick and choose what you want, but for the most part, the best setup, at least in my opinion, is going to be just sort of the following that you see in this video. So, first and foremost, these are the stats. Your damage cap for ice is 176, so I'm one shy of that. Doesn't matter too terribly much, but this is the bread and butter of the ice school. This is hitting the resist cap. 85% is pretty nuts, and you know, if you have like stabilize up, then it's like your opponent is hitting into 110 resist, so that's what makes it so good. And you know, the more resist you get, the better. As an ice, you can use stabilize just even more effectively with that, so I just like hitting the resist cap as best as I can just because it is that strong. For accuracy, I've got perfect accuracy to fire, well over perfect accuracy to ice, and perfect accuracy to life, and this is going to matter in a moment as you will see, but for now let's keep looking at the stats. I got about 600 crit, not really the most, like, I guess important stat, but you know, it's still good. What is important is critical block, and I have 813 universal with 957 to balance because I'm rocking a blocking pin on my hat, so pretty important there. This is a very good stat because it directly offsets your opponent's critical rating, and the higher block rating you have, the lower your opponent will get on their critical multiplier. So it's just a way to take less damage, which is Ice's specialty. For Pierce, I do hit the Pierce cap at 47, and then I'm 1% over on Fire Pierce, but you know, that's to be expected. Just put the setup. And then pip conversion is 39%, but there are setups that definitely do increase this by a lot. And then perfect pips and 139 shads, so it's a little lower than some other schools, but it's still good enough in my opinion. And then of course 198 arch mastery. So for that, we have the Xibalba Comet Helm. This one is pretty solid, but I would recommend getting the new Lemuria Raid hat from, obviously, the Lemuria Raid. And the main reason for that is it gives the exact same stat template, but instead of this useless Moontrap item card that you're just going to cross out anyway in your item card deck, the Lemuria hat gives a Path B Frost Giant tier 5, which is a very, very good blade counter, and it's good to just have one of them as an ice, so it is kind of nice. I just don't have it yet, but I'm just rocking the exact same stat profile, so Xibalba Comet Helm, and with these specific pins and all that, just a very important piece of gear. This also is the main thing that gets you to your resist cap, as well as the robe. And for the robe, I have the Raiment of the Lich Lord. This drops from the new pack, the Liches and Legends Gauntlet pack, and it has the exact same stats as the Chilling Plot Armor, so you know, if you already have that, you know, you can just use this instead if you don't want to either farm the Liches and Legends Gauntlet, which is like a polymorph gauntlet. It's real nonsensical, but either way, if you don't want to open a new pack, if you don't want to farm a new gauntlet, and you already have the Chilling Plot Armor, there you go. But I like the Raiment of the Lich Lord specifically because it gives an extra brace, and Ice uses brace liberally. Like, we pack 10, and my pet gives me a chance to get an 11th every game, so that's how much it matters. So yeah, Raiment of the Lich Lord, this is best in slot without a doubt. For the boots, I've got the Xibalba Comet boots. These are pretty good, as you can definitely tell. They give a lot of health, a lot of resist, a lot of damage, and a lot of crit block, which is something I'm realizing just now. And the pin sockets, that's definitely what you want, just to get your fire damage up for your counters, so pretty good here. The new Lemuria Raid boots are also the same template, but I don't think, like, I think they might give like an elemental blade or something like that. They're not, I prefer the Sleet Storm that I get from these boots. So it's kind of just a preference, but the Lemuria raid is much, much easier than the Azteca raid, which is where these drop. So just something to keep in mind. And then there's also one thing to go over for the robes. The Hunhaus Comet Mail is another robe option, but I will get to that in just a bit. Buddy of mine actually rocks... No, never mind. He is not rocking it. He is rocking my exact setup, as a matter of fact. Interesting. But yeah, the Hunhau robe, it does give up some accuracy, so you will go down to 24% accuracy, which is a 1% chance to base fizzle lore spells, shads, and gambits, but it is still pretty good. It gives you that Colossus item card just to have in your main deck as opposed to, you know, taking up deck space with it. And you lose some stats like some resist, some health, but it is the best robe that gives Shadow Pip rating. So if you want to run 4-piece Shad, this is your this is definitely the robe to use. I just like the extra brace, and as it seems, Cass has also gotten the program and switched over to the brace robe as well. So there's that. And yeah, otherwise, I mean, this hat and these boots are kind of your only options. I'm sorry. And then for the wand, I've got the Xibalba Comet Sword, but definitely, if I look back at Cass's setup, this is a pip conversion wand that you can also use. It is the same template as the Hunhaus Comet Sword here as well. So, you know, just take your pick. You know, if you want to run a pip conversion setup, you can definitely do that. It's just that you lose 2 pierce, not the one that it says that you lose. Like if I go here and I compare it, yeah, here. So it says you'll lose 1 pierce, but you actually lose 2 because of the way this game likes to round things. If you have 46 pierce, it rounds down to 45 for some ungodly reason, which is honestly the reason why I'm not using the Hunhau wand. Because as good as P-Serve is, I would much rather be able to get that little bit of extra damage in on people. So definitely an option, but I don't know if I'd run it personally. Of course, the Crafty Attunement Staff, as well as the Crafty Attunement Rod that both drop from the Lemuria raid, are pretty much the exact same thing. So there's that, just with different item cards. So I guess if you want a trap dilution instead of, I don't know, moon trap or something, you can go for that, but to each their own. Next on the list is the Icy Imperial Court Knife. This is definitely a non-negotiable. You need that extra pip chance, and this is just the best way to get that. You do lose some health. I will say Ice cannot get even close to their health cap because of how much we have to give up for other stats. Like our accuracy burden is immense, and I would really like to be able to use something like this and then have a like a square socket like with a Rebirth aim, but no dice on that. But yeah, this does at least get you all the way to max pips, which is nice. So next up is the Amulet, and I use the Chilling Archival Ample. This drops from the Forbidden Library Gauntlet. It gives the exact same stats as this Clasp of the Lich Lord. It's just the big difference in these is the fact that the Chilling Archival Ample gives a Brace item card, while the Clasp of the Lich Lord gives you a Tower Shield and an Attenuate. In a world where, you know, negative aura counters are becoming stronger and stronger, with things like Poison have just been added, and of course Chameleon Clash is like very good. It's I prefer having the 10th brace, because between this this amulet and this robe, I can run 10 braces, which is insane. That is 40 rounds under that kind of aura. So it's just kind of crazy. But yeah, one of these two is exactly what you need. So yeah, it's like you can get these from the packs, or you can get them from their respective gauntlets, but you definitely 100% need at least one of these two. So that's what's up. Skyfarer Ring, you're going to see as just sort of like a constant that these are always going to be the best in slot, just because this one gives 23% pip chance, which is immense, and you know, no other ring even gets close. So you know, this is just going to be the play now and forever. And you can actually get the Meowiarty rematch, which drops the version that I have over here from Raquel in the arena. So if you go here, crafting, I want to say, it might not even be, or no, they are here. So Malister's Whisker, this is like the pity system, but pretty much you can just farm these, like here it is. You can farm the gauntlets that she lets you craft. The Meowiarty one in particular is the one that like just straight up drops the rings. It'll drop the whiskers as well in case you want to just take the pity system route, but you might get the ring on the way. So that's just what I do. That's what I did. I haven't farmed it in well over a year, and I don't plan on going back ever, but there's that. For the pet, this pet body is exceedingly important. This is a blimp buddy, and the reason being for it being as important as it is it gives 235% bubbles. So that's crazy, because as you'll see when I show y'all the deck, Ice Wizards can pack 6 2-pip bubbles with this, and that is not something that any other school can do outside of like life and death if they're using their non-damage bubbles. So it's like Ice is the only school right now that can pack more than 5 rather, because there's a lot of other schools that have 1 bubble pets, but Ice is the only school that can pack 6 2-pip damage bubbles. So definitely you want the blimp buddy, and then this particular talent spread is what you want as well. Sharp shot to make sure you can't fizzle your fire counters as well as your life counters, and then also that gets you above the 25% that you need for ice just in general. And then of course, you know, you got double damage, you've got spellproof, you've got mighty, and of course you have that Maycast brace. I hated how long it took this pet to make, or how long it took me to make this pet. It was crazy, but eventually it worked, and it's been working really well. So this is definitely the play. And then for the mount, I was actually able to get the Clockwork Courser into my backpack this time, and this gets me to that 47 Pierce mark. Very, very good. Very, very required, because, you know, if you're missing out on Pierce as an Ice, the lowest Pierce school, you're fried. So there you go. And then for the deck, I like to use the Icy Imperial Court deck. This drops from Takanobu. So does this Athame, actually, I meant to mention. Both of these drop from Takanobu the Masterless, and yeah, this and this both drop from the same boss. And this is very, very good because it gives a Dark Surge item card, which is just so good. So yeah, it's pretty good. It is definitely the play. Gets you some extra crit block as well. And just to show you just what I'm using right now for my deck, this is what I got. Tweaked it a little bit, and this is why life accuracy matters, like I was saying, because you do not want to fizzle any of these dot counters. This at tier 2 is also a clear 2 dots, as you can see here. Yeah, so I have 3 of these in, and 3 life King Arts, just because it's like, this is your triple clear, this is your double clear. So with dots having seen a major resurgence in the meta with Fires from Mars getting added, it is definitely like needed to bag this many dot counters again. So kind of tragic on that front, but I guess not the end of the world, right? So yeah, still 5 Dark Surges, including the item card, and like I said, 10 braces. You have 4 main deck braces, 2 item card braces, and then 4 stabilizes. So people just clump them in together because, I mean, brace is already insane, and then, yeah, stabilize is just an upgrade to brace. So, yeah, it's, I don't know why this got added. I really don't know why this got added, but it did, and Ice has been abusing the hell out of it, and is really the only reason why we're even able to contend in this meta at all. But, you know, it exists, we're going to use it, so that is why the 10 brace setup, 11 if your pet casts, is so good. So, yeah. But anyway, that is going to wrap up this gear setup. So, definitely, I mean, how many pieces of raid gear do we have? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 3, actually. 4 if you want to use this particular robe. But, yeah, I can't think of any other pieces of raid gear. So Ice uses very few pieces of raid gear, which is nice, but it does get made up for in kind by the pack and gauntlet gear. So here's one piece of pack and gauntlet gear, and here's a second, and here's a third. So that's sick. So that's awesome. And then fortunately this is very easy to farm, as is this. You're probably going to want to do Takanobu the Master List anyway, because that is where you get Ice Elemental Spellements. And I need to do a lot more Takanobu the Master List, if I'm being real. I am nowhere close to tier 4, but I mean, it's a gain of 5 damage. We'll be alright. So, you know, just that's what it is. So, with that being said, thank y'all for watching. I've been Ice Gold. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like 50 comments for the algorithm. My Discord is down in the description if you want to chat with me some more. And I will see y'all later.